Sasa tumeweza kurekodi kujiintroduce, so
Yep. Let's get to it.
tutamaliza hii convo actually, since tunaongelea development na hivi vitu vyote. Part of something that nilikuwa nataka tugusie ni Saba Saba. It ties to watu kusikizwa.
Ulienda?
Sina happen this coming Wednesday.
No, did you go?
Nilikuwa mtaa.
The Friday.
Nilikuwa mtaa.
Did you?
Kuna msee aliishia hapa.
Mimi nilikuwa mbali bro. Nilikuwa nafanya kazi
Kwa tafuta pesa.
Lakini
I was there in spirit.
Me too, man. Me
too. I feel like I relate with what's happening.
But me pia na feel too imetumika inatumika tu kisiasa. Saba Saba ni tunahitaji hiyo movement, but mimi nilichoka. Niona tu watumia penye mse anatumia ile Kenya unahitaji ye mwenyewe kupata Kenya anataka.
But then if you but then see, as human beings we're all selfish. Hakuna venye nataka kukusaidia na mimi sisaidiki.
Yeah,
I think even the first Saba Saba, there was the drive was selfish.
No,
sure. Every project kuna overheads.
Unaongelea Saba Saba 1990.
Yeah. I think the first Saba Saba was the multi-partism and everything.
But look at
it was driven by selfish desires. It was good.
Me na feel atufai kuziangalia the same, because look at the price that those guys had to pay compared to this Saba Saba. I mean, that was ase walijua kuna chances ya kumadwa, unaona.
True, yeah.
Kuna na hii chances ni high that unaweza madwa tu hapo. Kuna chances ya imprisonment na umadwe na udisapia.
Nyayo house.
True.
Unaona, na ni ile unajua utapata justice. Hizo ndio you had to weigh. Yes, you had to weigh, it's your life or this, unaona. Saa hizi it's not that. So mimi na feel pia tukiangalia what it costs. Yeah,
of course not the elites, of course.
Yeah, but ukiangalia what it costed then and what it costs now, na msi anajua tu for a fact I'll get guys watarusha mawe, watupetia gas, maybe 2 or 3, but I'm untouched.
Are you talking about it from perspective the people who are in power and when you're opposition, or the people in your ground?
It has hii yote inakuwa driven na wase wenye uko juu.
Yeah, and nakuuliza, the people who you're saying when you're the people who are weighing the costs, are you referring to the people who are actually in the streets and rioting, or are you talking about the people who are driving or promoting the riots?
Nasema wase wenye wana promote riots, wase wenye wako chini, maybe ni psychophancy, maybe pia ni the legitimate desire to see things change. But kama huko juu ni kuchafu, it's not going to change that much. Actually kuna msali alikuwa ananiambia mzae akona design nyingine interesting sana. Anajua he can always hold the government by its balls. So ataifanya hivyo, and then gava kujua muite kando amwambie ni aje, awambie yo toeni do fulani, unaona. Akijengwa hiyo do anawaambia hii do iko valid for 3 months. After 3 months hii do ina expire, unaona. So kuna kwa kumetulia ati kuna inaitwaje
negotiations.
Kuna negotiations, kuna boardroom meeting nini wala sana manze ime expire, ile do ime expire, unaongeza muongeze, na this time ni double, la uongezi, tunaenda streets.
Would you blame him?
Yeah,
I would.
Why would I not blame him?
I wouldn't.
He's playing the system that has played him before.
Exactly.
It's
because he was part of the Saba Saba in 1990s, you know. Because he was part of it.
But why not just?
Because there's this. Imagine going through all that. Yeah, all you've weighed the risks. Kuna chances for you to be assassinated, for you to be imprisoned, for you to be tortured.
Then
you've weighed those risks and you're like, screw it, I am going to fight for my country. So,
Yeah.
you go and fight for your country.
Mhm.
But then your country turns around and screws you.
In what ways?
It
Hatuwezi
has.
That
ongea
him
juu ya
not being a
207 to
president
8,
is
but
screwed.
okay.
It has.
That's being
has screwed
selfish,
him.
man. This guy has
That's
been
why
a
I'm saying everything goes back to our selfish interest, because as human beings we are selfish.
not
That's why he says
everything.
in blame.
Not everything. I'm blame in every sense. I'm
Mbona
blame in
Joveni wa
every
Kenya
sense.
hukuanga?
I mean, how selfish do you need to be? How selfish do you need to be? He's not even deserving in that sense. Then he's not deserving in
No one
any
is
way.
deserving.
We'd rather have.
That's where it ends.
Okiya
That's where it
Omtatah.
ends.
Okiya
That's where it
Omtatah is
ends.
deserving. Okiya Omtatah is deserving.
No.
I would give Okiya Omtatah.
No, again, he's there. There's always a
Which
selfish...
party was Okiya Omtatah working with?
CODM,
Okay.
I think.
Possibly.
When it comes
Subject to
to
confirmation.
Siko accurate
when
now,
it
subject to
comes
confirmation.
to politics and leadership, there's no such thing as deserving.
I may think it's
No,
like
no,
we've
no,
seen
no one
leaders.
is deserving.
We've seen leaders
Have
who
we seen leaders?
Yeah.
The time we saw a leader was Kibaki, right?
And even then, there are
Kibaki
people
supported
who
by who?
are...
why
cool.
are you
Yeah.
me sioni kama me na feel Kibaki could have done more.
He could have.
Yes, he
No,
inherited.
each Kenyan president could and should have done more.
Yeah.
And siko sure if part of your sentiments, Rogers na Pablo's, za kusema system screw rao in a rhyme has to do with the 2002 MOU that Kibaki walifuck up.
Yes. We start there.
Yeah.
That MOU was going to help, Kenya unite. At least when the leaders unite, it makes us think we are united, or rather, it helps us get
Unaona,
united.
hii ndio slavery ya elevation. Like sa tuna feel
No, this is
mse akuwa elevated juu ya safari yenye alipitia manze ayakuwe corrupt as
No.
But
no.
si hiyo
Not the
safari
corrupt
sorry.
part.
tunasema
Not the
hiyo
corrupt part.
hiyo agreement walikuwa nayo wakiget into the movement ya Kibaki tosha that once Kibaki aliingia hivi into power a few weeks into ye kuingia stato
yeah.
wali go against it.
Yes.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
So I think kuna hiyo, and as Pablo anasema, that being the genesis of the government and the regime in power going against him na zile agreements zile walikuwa nazo. So there is that. Then kuna watu of course wana feel anafaa kukuwa amekuwa rewarded na kupata that seat, the highest seat in the land. Kuna hiyo which no one deserves, as Roger anasema, you don't deserve ati
No,
kupatiwa
I also
power.
don't
And then
think
kuna
he wants
wase,
to be.
and then
Okay.
kuna wase wenye tying to that
anataka hiyo kiti.
wanasema ama tying to that ni irreality ya winning elections and not getting to the seat. So
Okay.
kuna hizo hizi zingine za kudeserve. Roger amesema no one
Hey,
deserves ati hiyo.
Kibaki.
No one
Kibaki.
deserves.
Yani Kibaki jo.
Because and then we are speaking as a society who glorify suffering because of the end goal. Yeah, that's why. That's honestly,
Religion.
exactly.
Wewe wacheni mambo.
It's not just religion. It's even
Suffering for the end goal.
Yeah, it's even in life in general. Ukiangalia from
Struggle.
education. From education, so when back in like 2015, because when I started doing some outreaches in like Islando Matari and stuff, ndio nilikam across the ridicule wase wa ubabini wa uface just because ni wase wa ubabini hawajasafa, so wase hawajui life, wase hakuna kitu mzee anaweza ni show. But man, msi man ametoka ghetto, man amesafa sijui nini. Nah, we glorify suffering.
Ai.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
Yes, Okiya alikuwa nini? ODM.
ODM. Who's the party leader for Okiya Omtatah?
Wako independent.
Wewe wacha hiyo mambo. Wacha hiyo mambo.
Mwenye unaweza patia.
Okiya
I
Omtatah.
will agree with you on this round of Saba Saba. Of course, the risks are nowhere near what they were. Na pia na feel I don't know, it's kind of like a joke these days.
Right.
Imekuwa mockery of the right to protest. I think most people are making a mockery out of it.
Nadhani pia kuna a disadvantage here in terms of people wenye wana believe that these protests will create the change, the economic reforms and a change in economic policies that they wish to see, and this not being the case kwa sababu of people who are using it for their selfish interests. Cause ungiangalia watu on news hiyo Friday and usikia watu wakiongea kama ni Kibra, watu walikuwa wanasema wanaamini that hizi demonstrations zitakuwa impactful, of which pia ukiangalia this country even going back to the 70s, or if we start with independence na tuangalie zile movements zilikuwa all over this country to fight for independence, systems and people in power and governments only respond to protests and demonstrations and such, sort of from far back, and then to get into independence, then to get into watu ku fight against the Kenyatta regime and watu kukuwa exiled, and then to get into the Moi regime, watu kukuwa exiled, watu kukuwa imprisoned, watu kukuwa tortured, as mmesema. Even one of the persons mwenye alikuwa exiled ni Mshairi Mugo, mwenye alipass a few days ago. And kuna hizi demonstrations, hizi protests zile the government na respond to, and then now since kuna hii history ya such, kwa our psyche tunajua even when you respond only if tutaingia kwa streets ndio mta respond. And the same thing I experienced nikiwa campus, student strikes. Watu wana realize huyu VC the only time atatusikia and the only way atatusikia ni tukienda kwa streets na tukizusha. Sawa basi, tutamuonyesha tuko na grievances fulani, therefore tuta act in this particular way, ndio respond. So kuna hiyo history in our psyche as a country and as a people, kuona those in authority respond to us in this way, and then tuko na an awareness that if we just say tujiorganize na tuonge in a civil manner with these people, nothing ita happen. Tutaka na nyinyi kwa ofisi mara ngapi tukiwaambia issue zetu na kuna kile mnadu. Acha basi tuifanye in hii way ya kwenda kwa streets, ndio mta respond, ndio mtakaa muone sasa wamedemonstrate kila Monday for a while. Tunakumbuka pia 2017
August Monday,
luko hizo streets za university because IBC iko hapo, because IBC iko hapo.
You could go to that area on an early Tuesday morning and you still feel sting at tear gas.
So auto me realize so mmedemonstrate kila Monday, acha tuite umse wenyu kwa ofisi tuongee na yeye, and then the handshake comes through March of 2018 and ina change how Jubilee was as a party. Kuna watu wanaanza kupushiwa to the side, which can lead to formation ya UDA in Kenya Kwanza, and watu pia wanataka ku revenge, and you still hear hizo sentiments from Kwanza Gachagua all the time. They still refer to the previous government, walitufukuza, walifanya hii, tuli inherit kofa zile ziko empty, walikuwa gava bado. You still hear these statements, and it seems for them wako hii period yenye bado ni kawa believe they are in power.
Yeah, they're still campaigning.
Bado wana campaign. Bado wana campaign, and ni very populist ideologies that tunaona from the government. But again wanajipata in a situation whereby bado kuna rao mwenye ni this huge monolithic individual mwenye anawapatia pressure. And vile kuna sema Slim, ye pia anajua literally there is only one rao and mkimtoa from the existence of Kenyan politics,
Oh, it will be different.
there's no one
You'll
else
feel it, you'll
kama
feel it,
yeye.
for sure.
Extremely different.
So kuna layer ya popularity, kuna yeye na sa for the previous elections, because it's usually pia a numbers game, ilikuwa yeye na Ruto wenye wanaweza pull the numbers, and we saw how that went. And then pia ulikuwa unaongelea campaign strategy ya Ruto, walifanya kazi fiti with that, kama ni kutumia Rachel, which sikuwahi fikiria.
It was like soft campaign, you get. It's not in your face.
Si overt.
Just low-key. Well done.
Apart from that, the overt one ilikuwa hiyo bottom up, which ili work amazingly. Misai watu wakizusha naambianga hamkujua tu mna elect. Hiyo ilikuwa a facade they were using convince.
You know, there's a story. A friend of mine was saying, kuna time during the campaigns Uhuru alikuwa Odhiru, and he was talking to them because he was alikuwa anasaidia Raila ku campaign, and kuna time so he was alikuwa na talking mother tongue, akiuliza watu who here has been with Ruto longer than I have. And no one, of course, you're talking to people, not even you get. And then it's like, I am the person who knows him best. Ni mimi namjua. History ya bottom up, sijui nini. Sijui hustler tawale, sijui nini. Umzana waingiza.
Na ujue Ruto kiangalia yeye kuza hiyo idea ya hustler na bottoms up, and nilitembea mgutupu kwenda shule, ama sijui nimesafa this and that.
Glorifying suffering. He's
There's
one
that.
Of the people.
And then pia anaitai to God na religion na belief. But on top of that kuna layer ya mse ye ku access power ako na revenge mission.
Story ya dynasty na nini.
Ako on a
so
revenge
it's an us against them
mission.
It is what religion does actually. So there's a book about how to retain power. It's not Christianity, but there's a book about how to retain how to remain relevant. And kuna phase flani where they say create an us versus them mentality. And the book uses Christianity as an example, or religion as an example, how it creates the devil. So the book mentions Christianity to be specific, because Christianity ndio wako so wako na emphasis on the devil, because Islam, not really Islam, they just everyone is the enemy as long as you don't believe in as you don't believe in Allah, si hatukutambui.
Hiyo ni bomb.
Exactly. And it is what Ruto did. The whole us versus them. Intended?
So mnakuwa cancelled after this.
So the whole us versus them, hustler versus dynasty. Si lazima kila time nikwe Mkikuyu ama sijui mnani. That was brilliant.
Yeah, ili work for them in so many ways. And so kuna again pia for them who are in power, because they were there when alikuwa anawasumbua in 2017. So wanajua ile power rawa wako nayo, and what anaweza do, and anaweza simamisha vitu. And as I was stating, kuna watu wenye wanaamini itasaidia, which to an extent kuna ukweli in terms of stopping activities and making the government hear your pleas and your grievances now respond accordingly. Because kuna mtu nilikuwa naona kwa news akihojiwa akisema maandamano imekuwa successful kwa sababu watu wamefunga maduka na kuna kile imehappen, and that being a sign that no activity has happened, no economic activity imefanyika. Inamaanisha basi ina affect pia kwa a larger scale of things, because whenever those demonstrations used to happen, watu tawa wanafunga maduka.
Oh yeah, it was huge. Hadi mat, unajua mat si operate.
Juu mnajua vile kutaenda mnajua exactly. Kutakuwa na disturbances, kutakuwa na turbulence, kutakuwa na chaos. So mnaepuka hizi problems zote, mnasema tunahesabu losses, tubaki tu mtaa. And then eventually now unaona kutakuwa na watu waende watakuwa na a seat at the table ya kumake conversations. The challenge comes in after when unafikiria okay, tulipigana, tulidemonstrate, and ilikuwa pia all over the country. Migori, Kisumu, Coast. Central ilikuwa imetulia. And kuna wasoko wanasema watafanye kazi zao, but kuna a former Laikipia governor Ndiritu mwenye alikuwa na lead maandamano akashikwa. Kuna pia I think sijui kama alikuwa a women rep ama an MCA that I saw, sijui ilikuwa Miro mawapi, yeye pia alikuwa nakuwa
Yeah, it was
huddled
huge. Yeah, it was-
kwa gari
it was-
huko,
it was-
but
that
Central
surprised
ilikuwa
me.
imetulia. Central ilikuwa
That
imetulia
actually surprised
as
me.
compared to other places, but ilikuwa places kibao
Yeah,
and
Wajakoya alienda Western.
watu wako kwa streets wana demonstrate. So challenge ni afterwards when Rao na watu wao waekwe kwa table,
What will they?
will it trickle down
Yeah.
to the people wenye mlitumia na wenye rile up waende wa
And
demonstrate.
demonstrate.
Juu the economy imeenda ikidwindle year after year, year after year, year after year.
The dollar is what,
and-
like
and-
144 today?
Let's juu ni ngapi,
Yeah, it's
but inachezea
around
hizo
140. I mean, I'm not
levels.
complaining,
Talking of the same,
but
I notice the number of people who are leaving this country for opportunities huko nje. I think sahi
the whole
imeskyrocket.
brain drain thing.
I
True.
would not
I actually
call it a
applied
brain
for
drain.
green card
I mean, it is.
unsuccessfully.
Ngoja, wait.
That's how serious it is.
Roger anasema ati ni brain drain. You believe?
Achana sorry za state. The best place I can say to go right now is Europe.
All right.
So that the Germany.
What?
Yeah.
I'll
That's
check it out.
suicide.
I'll
I
check
mean,
it out.
Europe.
Compared
Okay.
to states,
The Europe. It's okay.
Peter, I apologize.
Look, but like I said, the situation is just terrible. So
it's really
if
really
you
bad.
do better, I mean, if it's like, if it is, we are at the worst. If you will do just worse or bad,
Yeah,
you feel
uko better, yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
So that's why people are leaving. But
Hey, people are
Uko na
leaving.
friends who've left.
Yeah.
I have-
Mabeste wako ni wa mtaa.
yes, I have a
Us.
friend in Abu Dhabi.
Pia Qatar and like the Dubais and everything.
And
But
I think
that's
another
been
one
going on.
to Canada. It's
There's,
a whole thing.
Norway, but though that's been going on mostly because of Maisa and Vitukaizo.
Yeah.
Germany.
Actually,
I think I don't know if it's Sweden or Switzerland. It's one of the SWs.
Actually, I
forgot.
think sahi Nairobi, just try as a statistic, ask anyone and name at least three people they know personally.
When of course,
Wenye
they're
wameenda,
there, yeah.
I think huwezi kosa. I think it's almost at 90% sahi. You can meet someone in the street and be like, hey, niaje niko na random question. In your life, unaweza name kawase watatu ama wanne wenye wamehepa.
They'll
Utapata it's very recent.
The reason why I wouldn't recommend states is because I know a few people who are there and really want to come back.
Racism?
No, the racism, the whole security thing. Pioko there, you know the guy who's in charge over there. And coming elections, I don't think the Democrats are gonna win. It's probably gonna be DeSantis because they're not gonna give Trump again. And DeSantis, some people say is worse than Trump because DeSantis nika Ruto. He's very strategic with his thing, with his thinking. And undio mse unafaa muogope.
Na I was about to say that watu wanamwogopa more.
Yeah.
And I know is the mic still on, which I was mentioning earlier. It's a podcast that we listen to. And it's a black owned podcast.
Studio,
Walikuwa wanasema wana prefer Trump.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wana prefer Trump cause Trump is dumb.
Yeah.
Atafanya tu some dumb stuff here and there and atamaliza na azidi as compared to this other one mwenye ako smart na ni mshrewd that ni worse ukikompare na huyu mwenye anafanya tu vitu.
Because the strategic person will put in policies that will harm you for
There's
years.
also something I have noticed, and I don't know if it's just me. Just lately, nimekuwa nikimeet videos of Trump not being so dumb.
It's just you.
Yeah, it's just me. When he's having conversations that actually make sense.
I can't remember
when he's doing things that are actually noble.
I guess unasema because I think I've heard that as well. The way I respond to some particular questions and that akona maybe use some awareness, but I think I'm getting kile unasema.
I actually believe
I've just heard that.
Have you gotten those videos?
Those videos of Trump just being very sensical. Hadi unajiuliza, is this really Trump? And they even source way back to when he was the president and we never got to see them. I actually feel like there was a strategy to paint him as this dumb guy who doesn't know what he's saying, who is just, it's dumber than a high school kid. And now you're getting videos of him talking sense. He's talking about,
maybe it's
economy.
what is it called? Isolated incident. Because you can't have those successful businesses and be 100% dumb.
I agree.
Maybe lazima kuna at least like a 40% ni
yenye
at least
yenye angalau inaweza
By the way,
inaweza-
Trump,
Sindio?
just like our current president,
Huh.
was voted in by evangelicals and Pentecostals.
Yeah, because of his right wing
Bo-
nini.
unajua
Absolutely.
and you know this is interesting because it goes back to the gender conversation earlier. Speaking of dumb people, a lot of us are dumb Kenyans and dumb Africans whenever we talk about organizations funding the gay agenda.
Mhm.
America
Mhm.
and conservatists
Mhm.
and conservatives
It's
and
huge.
Christian fundamentalists
Mhm.
and anti-gay laws that are passing and anti-trans laws that are
They're
passing.
some of the biggest
Mushangaa.
policy makers.
Mushangaa, hamsomi, hamjui what is mnaongea to end. That's the thing with us. We just hate blindly and ignorantly. We have we've already choose to stick with what we assume we know, and we are not changing that information in any way, shape, or form. Tuna stick nayo because we also have a hateful agenda. Laws wanapitisha, hata anti-abortion laws, hizi vitu, a lot is happening.
You know, it's going down
And that's
to,
why ukisema wase walimvotia any awase wenye
Yeah. It's-
wanataka hizo policies ziekwe in place na ziwe incorporated, and even at the moment they are still happening, zinapitishwa day in day out, day in day out.
the reason utajua ni serious is when they're making policies that affect children and schools.
Well, that's a huge one as
Because
well.
now you know
That's
you're making change for the future. CSI. Because ni policies una put in place ku program ama ku govern how how children are raised. Because there's a whole thing about giving hormonal therapy. Iko banned for people under the age of, I think it 16 or yeah, it's like huge. Because back then there was kulikuwa na there was this whole push about and it all goes back to the media, because the media the right wing media paraphrased it to alter the narrative to make it seem as if hizo vitu zikuanga unsupervised. And it actually took a therapist, one of the therapists went on like and used Nini to break down the process. And that's when people realized like the process actually involves the parents as well. And it is hours and hours and hours of counseling. See, because they were told, like, someone, if I'm a boy and I feel like I want to identify as a woman, they were told that I could just walk into any hospital na nipewe hormones za kunibadilisha. And because of that narrative, policies ika change. But then afterwards, no, man, we are medical practitioners who care about our patients. That's quite reckless.
Very.
If I do that, license yangu inachukuliwa.
That is very reckless.
So I don't remember if it was a man or a woman or the identifiers either, but they broke it down like it's hours and hours of counseling. Some of the counseling sessions involves the parents. Other sessions, the child is not even there. It is directly with the parent, you know, what will happen if this and this, So again, but because they didn't have this information, policies ikatenga. It's like, keep our children safe. Nini hasa ni wajanja.
And hivyo ndivyo wanasemanga kuhusu the Republicans, that they think ahead we compare the Democrats. And so their policies and how they plan this game wanajua this is for the long haul. This is
Because even
just
if you see the what I say, the lawyers and the justices that they elected are all Republican, and they all opposition in specific places. I think that's what Ruto is trying to do, but he's quite reckless about it. At a land bado. But if he was to learn,
Ruto na ma CSS wake
Exactly.
chwani wenye aliambiwa kuna wera anymore.
Exactly.
Alafu wanasema tutaenda kwa mahakama ya juu.
Mm.
Unaona kina Mwaura hapo wakisema wata appeal
So
the
uliteki,
decision.
he nominated a 70-year-old lady a few weeks ago. And you saw, and it took the council kusema hizi huyu amefika the mandatory retirement age, so we can't accept this nomination. Like, it was so weird.
Alafu
do you
ataenda
think-
church.
Do you think it could be a game where I nominate you knowing that you won't get it, but you see, it's like nimerudisha mkono, all right?
Yeah, it's not me.
Like, hey, yo,
I
Roger,
nominated you. I promised I'd give you the
I
nomination.
promise. You see, I've done it, but the people have refused.
Yeah.
Wamekataa.
So, izaja.
Mi nilikuwa nadhani where you are heading ni nimekuwa nikiona a perspective that wanafanya hizo vitu kama USCSs cause obviously uko na a legal team. Haufanyi tu hizi vitu kuzifanya, uko na watu wenye una consult legally kuuliza, but you know that itakataliwa, lakini una test kuona kama kutakuwa na response and a reaction. Kama utapata Okiya mwenye atapeleka kesi kotini, ama other activists, ama other Kenyans who are citizens wenye wanapeleka
the bill.
Yeah. Ni Tuesday ndio wanaendelea.
so kuona tujaribu. Unajua hii CSs ni legal kuifanya, but let's see, because pia Uhunye pia alikuwa na something similar. So kuna hiyo thought nilikuwa naona pia watu wakisema ni kutest kuona will there be a reaction. Okay, so tunaweza fika hapa then and tufanye do protest zinaanza wenu.
Alafu
At the time of this recording, protest zinaanza in 2 days time.
Probably I think vile mnasema bado ako campaign mode na ameamua kucheza politics design ingine interesting sana. Ana work everything for the favor, kupata favor ya how I say wenye wako in office, the MPs, the what not, these other people wamsaidie kusecure his next election. Yes, and then I would because a lot of people say that there is high chance that atapata that seat. Of course, credibility election ni one of the places yenye ata vile wasa wanasema ata compromise kabisa, but if that time comes, niko interested sana kuona what will happen. In terms now, you are not running for office again. All you're left with is your legacy. Ndio, I think hiyo second term ndio ili change a lot. Wasa wanasema Unye alikaa chini akaona humse anakula hii gava na mi ndio the buck stops with. So mi ndio hii blame itaniangukia. Umse sahi ana secure resources for his campaign. Umse ana secure everything for his name. And nikiangalia hakutakuwa na legacy for me. So acha tuishie. Mi nataka kutengeneza legacy. Wasa wanasema he actually did more in his second term than he did in his first term. So niko very intrigued if in case iende how a lot of the people are saying in the streets, because sahi akona power mingi sana, ameweka wase wengi kwa mfuko. So pia na feel sijui, but after in the next election voter turnout na feel itakuwa chini.
Na tuliongelea pia the first time kirecord
we spoke about
political apathy na vile
vile
itakuwa. We even talked about it tukienda mtaa
and I think he's playing that game to make guys believe that inaenda nayo mpende msipende. So I feel like a lot of people tukifika hiyo part, a lot of people watafeel it's not going to be fair and that's a win for him. The fact that watafeel it's not going to be fair, so sina haja kuvote, na mse kama Rao amedandia hiyo kitu like tokeni mvote itakuwa fair, lakini yeye mwenyewe hana hata ile power ya kuprotect hizo kura and sijui we can just
Unafeel
wait and see.
protests zitaendaje na what is the future of hizi protests from Wednesday? Na unajua protests husimamisha vitu, sijui kama wataongeza another day after Wednesday. Previously ilikuwanga Monday, Thursday, sahii ni Wednesday. Prospects zako ni zipi? What are your projections?
Okay, unakumbuka kwanza protest zilikuwa zimeanza zikastop, and when they stopped there was
Walibagain
that
for a while.
idea of a conversation will begin and all that. So judging by that history, I would say hii idea of protest, it's a viable one, because last time ilifanywa kulikuwa na story ya conversation and then it stopped. So I can't dismiss the protest as of now, because nikijudge by the pattern and also maybe the other pattern during Uhuru Kenyatta's time, there's a possibility that the protests will lead somewhere, and then that other time it will lead to the BBI document, which I realized quite late that so many people didn't actually read that document. They were just commenting on other people's comments.
You realize later.
And the other
Wakenya
one,
wasomangi
nashangaa. Nashangaa.
Black people
From the
don't-
onset.
Haya,
Wakenya
yeah.
wasomangi chochote.
Yeah.
So everybody said
Even the
BBI this,
finance
BBI that.
bill.
Hey,
Even the
BBI.
finance bill.
Hata
Very
hiyo.
few people have read it.
Hey.
Kila mtu alikuwa na comment tu on the percentage.
Vitu
Yeah,
zimefichwa.
Because unajua kuna na political agenda,
Mhm.
wakafanya watu wa focus on the housing levy, which
Yeah.
became a tax when walifanya a few amendments, and that was the only conversation, the main one rather.
But there's a lot more.
There's a lot there.
But anyway, sorry.
Na ndio nilikuwa nafikiria as you were speaking that the results of hii period ya hiatus after watu wamwe kustopisha demonstrations ilikuwa the finance bill. That's what it
Well, that's evil. You know the results.
that's
Mi na feel strategy ya Rao anajua even with the demonstrations haziwezi mshake, but one thing itamshake ni the international community, na hapo ndio Rao ana target. Ruto sahi ako so focused in building hii narrative ya the African giant, the African Muammar Gaddafi, you know, this vocal person who cares all about Africa. Na hizi demonstrations zinaweza taint hiyo image anajaribu kucreate. So I feel like hiyo ndio itakuwa among the reasons zinaweza msukuma kabisa kujaribu hata nakumbuka akienda France, kuna I think nimesahau jina ya that journalist have hiyo conversation na yeye. I think twice when he was in his international trips aliulizwa, tumesikia kuna demonstrations huko kwenu, what are you doing about it, what is it about? Na nimeona every time anaulizwa inamtatiza kidogo, you know, he's like all the time
That's very
lazima-
ironical,
Yeah?
considering the protests that are ongoing right now in France.
We should ask them the same
Yes.
time.
Tunafaa
Okay,
kuuliza.
you guys, by the way, yenyu
Tuweke
inaendaje?
mafo hapa, tumuulize maswali, tumuulize
Ni wa
but
CNN.
France iko na vast history of riots and demonstrations.
Ooh, they're the
Vast.
pros.
Vast.
Hey, I was
Kids
in
leave.
my pro, man.
So nani Rao apush Ruto, demonstrations push Ruto. What will they do? What do you think they'll do?
Same old manzeme. I feel like itakuwa closed doors conversations, and then tukuje tuambiwe tupatie room for these conversations, and then they will cut deals, because at the end of the day this guy is not going to loosen the taxation. He's not going to open the servers. He's not going to admit that he didn't win the election, you know, and he's not going to offer any more administrative positions to Rao. So Kenya tu tunaona, and aendi kupunguza bei ya unga, so I think it's Rao anaenda kutuchapa na silence. Me, that's what I believe. It's just like tumeambiwa tupewe time, wanatengeneza hii mambo, so tutulie, and then hiyo silence, and then itafika point ya hatujui nini inaendelea, and then more silence, alafu tena
And then
another
campaigns.
demonstrations.
Nasema itafika ile point yani another time for campaigns again and vie for presidency again.
Unless
It's almost a year since where elections happen.
Yeah.
Just like that.
The only way
Hajamaliza mwaka?
bado
God
August.
It feels like it.
And then,
Yeah,
and then
bana.
decisionally
That man is doing the
September,
most.
sindio?
September.
September. Yeah.
Hata
But
mwaka
the only thing yenye ita stop
Rekodi yake manze.
the only thing yenye ita stop
maybe he
this
wants to get
demos,
the protests out the way and then I focus on kazi.
the only things that stop this demos ni that handshake is you cannot be
If
a
the handshake
fighter.
happens,
Yes.
I will tune in for one reason and one reason only. Kusikia Kenya Gachagua atasema.
Atasema.
Whoa.
That would be hilarious.
But mimi najua
Fire.
huyu mse anadunda
That
after hii
would be
election.
Of course, yeah. He's
Anadunda
already
after.
been. He's
Na
already been.
anajua.
Yeah, he's already been. That's why he's still on campaign mode.
Mi nangoja fallout ya Gachagua na
Naruto.
Ruto.
It will happen.
And then
Perfect, man. You know where the drama is.
mi
But
napenda
now,
drama.
here's the thing. I don't think Gachagua will his political career will last beyond Ruto.
But you see, he's playing a very interesting game.
It can. It can.
I doubt
can.
it.
It
You
can.
see, this guy is very smart. He is playing the same cards Ruto played.
Nah, all he has is money.
You remember when Ruto, there was a time in the first government, Ruto was doing exact same thing that Gachagua is doing. Like,
Yeah, but Ruto is smart. Gachagua just has money.
you think that guy is not smart? That guy to kutoa Kindiki kwa hiyo position.
Nah, that guy is not smart.
Everyone could swear that
money.
Kindiki was going to be the deputy
the
president.
vice pre-
You think it doesn't
president,
take wit?
Because
That guy
because
has
Kindiki
money.
was bright, right?
Kindiki was bright. He sure would have,
That-
This
cut
dude
him the
had
deal.
money.
Gachagua has
Skia.
money.
Nah, you can have
Gachagua
money,
has
but
money.
wit.
He's not. If the Kikuyus are turning against Gachagua,
I also think that yeye kukua for the previous rather kuna hiyo idea ya learning while uko hapo kujua vitu zina happen
Yeah.
and picking them being in government previously na Ruto kuwa na vile Uhuru alikuwa anafanya the first term and the second and how things are happening ku get your footing ku learn na feel kuna hiyo proximity to power, kuna things previously that wame learn from that regime and then sahi pia learn anajua vitu kadhaa hapa na pale, so when your time comes where kuna a political fallout that atakuwa gain ground kibao ya kumpatia msingi wa political career yake. Also kuna a lack of a linchpin in the central region that na feel ni kama ataanza kujiposition kufeel
that's what he should be doing.
Your
But
gap.
he's not.
No,
he's
he's
coming
not.
in very well, Nyoro.
Because of policies Ruto and Gachagua aggressively defending them, it is harming businesses.
But you see,
And in Kenya, some of the most tukiangalia percentage, of course, in terms to population as well, but wala se ukuangalia the most businesses ni Osapere
yeah, but you
in the
see,
central region. That's why I'm saying he is not smart. He has money.
you know what that guy did? Immediately after the election, you know what song the Mount Kenya was singing, and they still sing it until now.
Yeah,
The unifying factor. He became
again,
that unifying factor for
not
all
anymore.
the manze, people forget.
I'm telling you.
And for once, Rao got some
seriously
votes, man,
forget.
from Central. Some votes, you know.
Who's the
numbers will
the-
increase compared to the previous election.
The guy who is allegedly resurrecting the Mungiki.
Mine.
That's who you should watch.
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
Mhm.
namwona si akona Rao
Central is not going to vote for Raila.
I am telling you, but he did get votes.
He did get votes, but Central is not going to vote him in.
The worst enemy for Gachagua is Gachagua himself. And because he is not learning.
Now, let me tell you, I personally think he's playing the best cards. You see, that mentality is what he's selling.
So unahisi ni kama ina work.
Yes, so that he's not viewed as a threat. It's too early to be viewed as a threat. If you're playing smart politics, you don't want to be viewed as a threat. You want to be viewed as this dumb guy who is always like we all expected Martha Karua kumwangusha kwa debate. Mi kwanza nilingojea hiyo debate.
Nah, me I knew he'd win.
No, sorry to say this, Martha, in terms of debates and relating to people, she has had a challenge. She was not going to do anything.
She's had a challenge. Like before that debate, you actually knew that Gachagua would floor Martha.
Yeah,
you actually believed that.
Yeah,
we knew.
For real?
Yeah.
May I think
charisma and lack of charisma also.
Martha Karua underrated. This is the thing that I personally believe.
Which ni
when it comes
sensical kile unasema hiyo ya unajiambia Gachagua. So maybe kwa mind ya Karua unajiambia una underestimate
when it comes to debate
opponent wako.
Is it about what you're saying or how you say it?
Yeah, of course ni how.
It's how you say it.
Ni how.
And ikikuja and how you saying it is all about charisma.
Kama Karua ange show up solo ingekuwa field day kwake. But sasa unajua umeka Gachagua mwenye anajua kudivert vitu.
Yeah.
Anajua diversions. Alafu hiyo charisma ile anasema na hizo
nika Trump
plus it didn't just come. You remember what Nani released? This jamaa anaitwaje huyu mwenye alikuwa UDA sijui UDA intelligence anaitwaje? Itumbi. You saw the footage that Itumbi released. This guy's had a mock debate. And remember
with
Gachagua.
Yeah, that's why I'm
saying.
And
plus remember, this is the thing. They had the questions prior. And then you have the experts.
So
my friend Nani was well prepared.
That's what I'm saying. The reason why I don't think and I hope I am not wrong. But the reason why I don't think he will have a long political career is because how he's been moving ever since they got into power. Because Gachagua is the perfect person to have when you're campaigning. He's the perfect person to have when you're campaigning. My hope is once he got into the office, the vice president, rightly so, you should never act like you're a real threat or a real challenge.
Yeah.
You are always the understudy.
Laws of power.
Exactly. You are always the understudy. But the thing is, the whole country is not happy with Ruto.
Yeah.
Maybe, well, of course, maybe the certain sections when you're on a door and the elites wako sawa. But the common wananchi are very unhappy with Ruto. Na ukisikia venye Gachagua anaongea and what he talks about, it is only aggravating. That's why I'm saying he is not smart, because if I were in his position, my role would be calm the fire. Because Kenye tu umesema, now if what you say is correct and the protests are bothering Ruto, the only person who knows that well is Gachagua. True or false?
True.
So as the vice president, I should not be fanning the flames, because Najwa, this thing is a real bother to my president. So my job would be to, everywhere I go is like, calm down, we are working, but that's not what he's doing.
I do think though that the cronies are doing that job.
That's exactly. But
Yeah,
not
kujaribu
Gachagua.
kuambia watu tulieni.
Everyone
we
else
care,
is, and that's why I'm saying I
we
don't
care
think he's
about
smart.
you. Which nilikuwa I make an observation that ilikuwa what they're using it for them in terms of, it's one of those things that they're also weaponizing, as they usually weaponize religion and other things, that au kumake hizo changes kwa the
The
finance
levy.
bill Yeah, tumepunguza percentages. They were using ama they will and they are using that kuonyesha that he is a listening president. President, unaona
yes.
president wenyu anawasikiza.
You actually know what
Tumepunguza
what might happen, and it's
hizi
what
percentages.
Ken alikuwa anasema kwa is the mic still on. It's like fuel. If fuel is like for I don't know 100 and what, how much is it right now?
How much is the
Fuel?
huku?
Close to 200, man.
Like 180, sindio? So what he was saying, it's what they did with like almost every other commodity. Ukipata kitu ni 180 sahi, Kenya wanafanya wataongeza hadi tu chwani. Mtazua and then watapunguza hadi roabe. Technically wameongeza na 20 shillings. But kwa akili ya watu wamepunguza.
Hiyo psychology amepunguza.
50.
Tumerant, tumevent
So like, at least ametusikiza akatoa kutoka 250 mpaka 200. It's the same thing with Kenya mama hoko ufanyanga, because wako like hii ndo za thao, hii muzanga thao, but leo nipe punch. Utajuaje maybe the whole time alikuwa aiuze 3 so umesikia
umesikia amepunguzia whole bunch in psychology ya pricing and how it works.
You've paid 200 shillings more
extra
than what he was willing
so umempatia profit yake.
So that might be what the whole percentage thing is. That might be what the whole thing is doing. It's like ilikuwa ongeza nini na what imeongeza 90%. Fuel
imepanda juu na what percentage, but imepanda na a huge percentage that hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, so atapunguza, but hatapunguza to where it was before or lower than that. No, you'll just add a few shillings on top of it.
I also think this fallout that you're talking about, I think Ruto is prepared for it. You know, Ruto has been trying to bring in the Western Kenya, Nyanza softly, the Northeastern-ish, you know, because I think he's one of those guys. I must say, strategically, that guy thinks.
Wanapiga hesabu zake.
Brilliant guy.
Anapiga hesabu zake and
brilliant on strategy.
But yeah, there's something happening on the other front. The other front, kuna hiyo issue ya Rao na Kalonzo. Hiyo rift tunaona ina happen time to time. Sijui kama mnaiona.
Si mara ya kwanza.
Rao is an energetic dude, bana.
I think it happens. Kalonzo anasema nitavai peke yangu, then anakuja in hiyo back and forth that ame have, which inakuanga disadvantages kwake, because hiyo tag alipata na hiyo brand ya kukua watermelon imebaki kistick, because anasemanga one thing, nitapita katikati, the next thing you know ako upande fulani, amekuja huku. It usually,
why do you guys look at it that way? I look at it as a way of surviving for him.
That is true pia.
It's a soft survival skill.
Kuna hiyo political survival that politics na demand from yeye. Anajua at this point in time, I'll tell people
there's no way you can get the main seat. There's no way. But then just to be here, lazima ucheze ina certain.
And tawambia this time niko independent na endelea na campaign yangu, I'll vie, and then unaona okay, things imework in this way, hata nikuje huku niseme hivi. Ni hiyo vile umesema, kuna hiyo, and politics ina demand hiyo political survival skill, kujua utajiposition wapi at what point in time. Sasa Kidero si ndio huyo ako side za UDA, anatafuta kazi yake huko because alipoteza a gubernatorial seat, vitu vinaendelea. Kuna hizo skills za survival.
I wouldn't pity him, but there is still being paid for the vice president job he did a couple of years.
na Martha Karua.
He's doing good.
Rao atasimama na Martha Karua kweli tena?
I don't think he'll run again.
You don't think he'll run?
No.
Sioni akiran pia.
Raila. I don't think he'll run again.
Unasahau mse ni selfish.
Yeah, he is selfish.
And energetic. Remember, how many old guys do you know move around
every time anaangalia video ya Biden anapata encouragement.
At least I don't fall.
At least yangukangi. At least my speech ni cohesive.
Alafu anaangalia Nigeria ako like, hey, manze.
But I don't think he'll run.
Tunibu.
hata sijui
The
jina.
current one.
That guy is old.
You know, when after he was elected, he went, he flew out because the campaign was a very stressful time for him.
Who?
The Nigerian president.
Oh,
maprezo wa Nigeria wote tu auishi tu nje yani
Like
wako tu nje ya country.
He hasn't even been sworn in.
Wako tu nje aliamua apigie mwili pole.
Yeah.
me I would bet Rao is going to na
So
angekuwa
for me, it depends on how the
Also
next,
would akiwa
the next
kama bado atakuwa high
Mm.
atavai
Atasimama.
tena.
For me,
Because
it depends on how the next year
ukiangalia
or so goes.
that was a decision and ingempatia a lot of power kama angeifanya immediately after the election aseme I'm never going to vie again but naenda kusimama na wasi. Now that would have made him, because now at that point anakuwa this leader who hatafuti anything to gain.
His way is smarter than that, because when you do that unajifunga.
Yeah,
Because what
kabisa,
happens when
kabisa.
usimame na wase, and then when you want to run again but already ushasema you won't vie again. I mean, yeah, Kenyans
Juu
do
bado
forget,
kuieka hivo open akona ile power yake bado.
yeah.
Na ngava pia inajua huyu ni one of
Because he hasn't announced he'll
the
never vie
biggest
again.
political forces.
All
But
of this is speculative.
ndio
Bado
nasema
kuna hiyo fear ya watu, kuna hope with people. It's like kuna hope he'll get in, and there's a fear in the current regime like, yo, this guy, we don't know what his intentions are.
because a lot of people kind of feel like he's using the economic times to get political mileage for the next election.
He is. He might
Ndio
be.
nasema if consider now Rao would have announced that he's retired and then we're going to the streets to protest against.
It wouldn't make a difference to the common mwananchi.
You think so?
Nah, it would not make
Haingekuwa
a
as
difference.
impactful.
Yeah, it would not make a difference.
Haingekuwa as kange make your statement.
Well, Boni ame go to the streets marangapi, and he's not vying for presidency. He's a common man standing with the people. People still ridicule him. They still
You
question
call
what's
Boni a
around.
common man?
No, like according to venye watu
Si yani yani mwananchi.
he's not a politician.
Unaelewa
Any
hivyo
mwananchi.
hivyo.
Oh,
Ndio maana aliweka in quotes.
Yeah, no one
amekaa kwa private jet to and fro.
he's not a politician, but he's going to hiyo kukaa kwa private jet actually harms him, because people are like, si ndio story do ikaanza kuingia.
Yeah, I remember.
Msana anatoa wapi do yake sijui nini, and it made him lose the impact of what he was used to do.
Kulia activism yako. Wa Kenya sio zi.
And that's what I was saying. Sahi siwezi blame Rao Kenya na do.
Kulia hii activism
Negotiate.
yako. Wa Kenya.
Wa
Kenya si watu wa
kupea a few millions. Well and good. Get a few more from Ruto.
Wa Kenya si watu wa ku.
I actually think Rao is doing the right thing with his life. Na filumse ameget purpose yake. Akiamua kuretire, he won't last 2 years.
Yeah,
Promise you, he won't.
Yeah.
You'll get bored with life.
Hiyo si decision
Mi
yake.
nilikuwa najua anaishia
No, for real, you think about it.
Tema
This
alipata
guy is
COVID.
always active.
He doesn't need to, especially...
Mimi nilikuwa najua anaishia time alipata COVID. Nilikuwa najua this is it for huyu mse.
I still here, man.
Hiyo time nilikuwa najua.
He doesn't need to go to the
Anaenda.
streets.
Where you guys, kwanza speaking of COVID, umse wa UG, M7, what's happening?
Yuko bado.
Yuko bado.
Na ni COVID ama ilikuwa
Ilikuwa COVID, si ndio?
Yeah,
Ilikuwa
inaonekana ni
COVID, ilikuwa COVID. Yeah, so alimake the announcement ilikuwa
umse-
COVID, and then
umse-
wakamtest
mahali.
after some time wakasema ako negative. Ilikuwa COVID, ilikuwa COVID.
Ameanza kuzeeka.
Alianza kuzeeka.
Ameanza. You see what I'm saying?
Naona kile umefanya.
Ameanza kuzeeka.
General Muhoozi ako ready.
Inafio atafollow tu Mugabe wenzake na itakuwa tu hivyo.
General
Hiyo time
Muhoozi.
itafika. Bado unajua hizi ni countries zile hiyo political freedom ya kuongelea hizi conversations haizi exist huko.
Oh, yo, by now
Au-
tunge kwa radio.
Au unajua hizi si vitu that they can even conceptualize in their minds, ati mtakaa mta hizi conversations,
know
mtakuwa na
what's weird?
events about this, your artist will talk about this
And
on
you know what's
media.
weird?
It doesn't happen.
They've made it to be like an African thing, the whole political nitty-gritty. But kuna some European countries that it's even worse. Like there's a friend of mine. I forget the name of the country, but he was there for like a few years. And when you're in the market buying bread, and you complain about the price of the bread, everyone is shocked. Then ukienda home, unasikia knock kwa mlango yako. It's like, nasikia ulikuwa unazoa kuhusu bei ya mkate. What are you trying to say about the current? It is that bad.
Na Asia pia kuna hizo.
Yeah, it is not an
the
African.
Asian.
They need to be like a like an African.
Kitu ya Africa. Ni part of reality shaping.
But we said we need a benevolent dictator at some point.
Oh, I would
And
like
sometimes I think, careful what you wish for.
Nilikuwa niseme I'm not of that opinion.
You know,
Nah,
like right now, careful what.
I am not of that
I
opinion.
mean, at least
Matiang'i for
So
president.
tukiongelea reality shaping as we finish this, is anyone of you on Threads? Threads?
Mi nilikuwa
Wewe umejoin?
nilikuwa ni join jana na join leo.
Wewe umejoin Threads? Or
I attempted with a pseudo account just to see what's happening.
so ulifungua IG account ingine ndio ujoin naye Threads?
You can say that.
That you can, that's the only way to join Threads.
Oh, you have to.
you have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
do it
actually,
through
yeah.
Instagram.
And through Instagram, eh.
Why? Is it a strategy?
Do
See, it's an Instagram app.
Do I
Oh,
get
it's an Instagram. Okay.
do I
Alright.
get followers wenye kwa Instagram wenye kwa Threads? Do they just automatically
Yeah,
follow
ni
me
clone.
on Threads?
Kabisa, like it
So like
have, it's
like
an
Nikki-
it's
like
an
Nikki.
extension. Ni kama ni IG too.
Cause sahi venye
juu najua-
nikifungua Threads na niko na like a Instagram yangu has like a few followers.
Uko na watu, man. No wish. Unakuanga na watu.
Okay.
Wapi kwa IG?
Unakuanga na watu,
Like a
wewe.
few
Tuone
followers.
watu wangapi.
So
I think ako na moku kushinda.
when I
Huyu anaweza kuwa.
when
huyu ni
I
OG.
join Threads and wale followers wangu wenye wako na Threads, do
Sikia-
they automatically follow me?
Sijui, I think so. Sijui how it works.
Sikia vile wanaita followers wangu. Hey.
Sijui if your followers
Position
automatically
power.
to elevate.
Elevation.
Sijui kama followers wako automatically
follow.
wanakuja
I
but
doubt it because kuna
but lazima uipate. I think people have to follow
follow.
you.
Ah.
And I think I think inakuja na Instagram. So
Ah.
ukiwa na Instagram account kuna hiyo option ya
Ndio kwa maana
kunini
kuna tag kwa Instagram.
za watu.
Ah, okay.
Mi pia nilikuwa nimeicheki kwa maana hapo at something
umejoin?
zina namba fulani, and then pia as of now bado the major complaint na grievance ya wasee ni hiyo that you can't delete it bila
no.
bila kudelete IG.
No way.
So so unaweza iweka, lakini sasa huwezi delete hiyo Threads app
Nimesikia
bila
pia kuna-
kudelete IG yako,
nimesikia pia kuna DM.
lakini unaweza deactivate.
Alright.
Haina DM
Haina
bado.
DM.
Their word count ni 500 as of now. Wana allow links na videos.
Ah.
Hizo
Nah, I'll
ni-
stick to my Twitter.
Yeah, I think what that whole thing of Twitter, Mark and Elon Musk. I don't want to be sitaki kuwa in the middle
I
of
hate
that
Utaki
fight.
utaki in the middle of
Mimi-
your yeah
Yeah,
this
I'm
billionaire.
just
manze.
I'm just
So
a
so
small guy.
hashtags
Yeah.
wanakubali hashtags. Hawana
They're literally
hashtags.
playing chess.
Hawana
under the
trending
pawns.
stories, hawana DMs, huwezi edit,
Ah, nah.
huwezi delete. Verification yes via Instagram. Videos ni 5 minutes long, photos, links, yes, and then 500 characters. And nilikuwa nasoma article fulani on BBC that it went live in 100 countries including the UK last Wednesday, but bado haipo Europe bado. Europe kuna laws fulani za data privacy that they have, privacy that they have that hai allow huko, and walivunja record ya
The most downloads.
ya ChatGPT.
Wow.
walivunja hiyo record, and so as of now wako na 100 million users in less than 5 days, because ili go live on Wednesday, so wako na 5, and within the first 7 hours walikuwa na 10 million users.
Mhm.
And then by Thursday morning ilikuwa 30 million.
Imagine if you could do such numbers.
And then around 24 hours walikuwa na
like you post something and you
imedouble.
have like 10 million interactions. I would be ungovernable. In the
Wewe.
words of Sam, I would be ungovernable.
But you've spoken something about data privacy.
Hizo ni nini za
Oh yeah, yeah.
So if
Za-
Europe,
za
if that's
Europe.
what's happening
So-
in Europe, it means we lack data
yeah.
privacy where we
It's
are.
a joke. In Africa, data privacy Policies are
jobs.
So it
different.
hasn't all been sailing for threads, though. It is not available in mainland Europe yet because of uncertainty over whether it complies with EU data privacy legislation.
Because the whole data privacy thing is something Meta and Zuckerberg have had very many problems with.
huyo kijana.
See, there was a whole committee he was testifying
Yeah, I remember.
in the States. Silikuwa States, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Aliekwa kwenye
The whole
kona.
thing. But there was something I was a podcast I was listening to. Probably is the mic still on, and they were saying one of them was saying he doesn't understand why everyone is focused on data privacy, because they can get your data from everywhere else. Uko na Netflix, uko na Gmail, uko na, like, they already have your information.
Watu nyutumianga Apple, literally the devices.
Yeah.
You can just walk into your room, useme something, your device pick, si utumia biometrics for identification on hizi vitu.
They
Watu wa
have
Apple
you.
ikiwa na Apple ID na cater for all products.
They have you. So,
Actually, someone was telling me how Apple would ensure that you must upgrade is when they decide this, say Apple 5, yeah, hatutaki itumike, so they ensure you cannot access some of your own data.
yeah.
Well, data privacy is just an illusion.
Yeah.
You
Well,
give us your information, and now we use it
But you
now
see,
to control
it's
you.
better when when governments want ni sawa, but I don't want some
Government what? No, but you know.
Did you say government?
So here's the thing.
Yeah, amesema government.
Because I'm sure there are many people who think like that. You know what governments will do? They will go they will get your information via all these apps, because that's how the apps and the companies make their money, because they trade with the information, the
Data.
marketing is
yeah. Right now, the data is an economy
Yeah,
in
ni
its
mine.
own. Yes, but
then the government.
I don't want some new betting site ijite K2S has all my data, bana.
No, it won't have all your data. It will have certain nini that ties into betting, maybe your finances, probably zile teams una support nini, maybe your subscriptions, DSTV na vitu ka hizo.
Yeah, but squeezy, I also feel like they have somehow, there's kind of using AI to do this. Unatafutaga kitu, the next thing you know, you're seeing
I really
recommendations.
AI is the bane of my existence, especially kazi yenye nafanya. AI imenikatia.
Mwandishi.
Sai unaenda Jumia, unatafuta fridge. The next time uko Instagram, unashtukia tu ma fridge zina pop up.
You know what was
Sponsored
weird?
ads.
Za fridge.
Maybe sometime last year tukibonga na Sam, before I got my tat, nilikuwa namwambia na nafikiria ku get tattoo. Nikiwa kwa mat nikiscroll IG nikapata sponsored pages za tattoo artists. And niko like, yo, what the hell?
What is happening?
That's when I knew it's already gone. It's too late.
So
It'll only get worse.
Unaingia threads. Uko curious about it?
Yes, nataka kuingia. I think nataka kuingia.
Fungo hiyo studio account kabla msa alifanya.
Yeah, bana.
Just to know. Just to know what's up.
Umeitumia?
Nimeitumia.
Iko aje?
This is just Twitter. Like, let's just use Twitter.
Of course, kuna hiyo pia, kuna a legal threat that wamepata.
Yeah.
From
Elon Musk.
from Twitter.
Yeah.
Let's just use Twitter. I don't see
legal
the unique
action.
thing.
So a lawyer for the company accused Mr. Zuckerberg of systemic, willful, and unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property to create threads. Twitter claimed that Meta had hired former employees, which they did because wali lay off people. Kina Musk walichuja watu who had and continue to have access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information. Meta has denied this.
If Musk is smart, he can get a huge settlement.
Good?
A huge settlement from your story, because there could be some validity to his claim.
No, 'cause hata kuna post
Now,
nilikuwa
and-
nimecheki
and-
msiaki on Facebook, msiaki sema vile Meta
bado
I've
inaanga
just been
Facebook.
copying people. Na time walicopying Snapchat,
Sindio,
copy
see,
YouTube,
same thing with Instagram.
wakacopy nini
Cause
Instagram and
when
TikTok.
TikTok
But-
because when TikTok came out with reels and everything,
That is
Instagram is heavy on reels.
but
Na
inamaanisha
TikTok changed the game forever.
if Twitter
yeah,
wins
definitely.
that case,
Forever.
if Twitter wins that case inamaanisha umse atakuwa na a lot of suits because everyone now will use that suit as a
Nah,
basis.
Probably not.
No, it's like, for example, see, that's how I think the law works is umse ametumia strategy kuiba stuff yangu, but I can't find ways ya kumsue.
So unless
But-
now Nani makes it like a mass action suit. So ashikane na mse wa TikTok, ashikane
No,
na wase wa
nasema Musk akienda na hiyo lawsuit na ashinde, yes, awase wengine wenye walifeel umse alicommit the same crime against me wanaweza chukua sasa hiyo lawsuit yenye ilishinda as a reference.
Lakini based on this premise what I have
Yes.
There's a lot of proving.
what I have exactly
Yeah,
what I have kumikizo
there's a lot of-
confirmations
yeah.
based on his systemic, willful
Yeah,
and
it's very
unlawful
different.
misappropriation
Because
of their
there's
trade
an
secrets.
actual
Kwa sababu unajua au kuna
crossover.
employees
Yeah, there's an actual
wenye walienda
crossover.
wakawaundia
And it wouldn't be cheap.
this so nah.
Because such lawsuits
Yeah,
are
even to sue won't be cheap.
yeah.
And
Yes.
unless they have like a solid case. Even this one, unless it's a solid case,
Hata
I don't
wamekingi-
see it.
na hata wamekingi nini wamekingi hata profit Twitter yenyewe. They don't
No,
make
yeah,
profit.
he lost money.
It's na
worth-
pia alispend kuiget
yeah, he spent like what 44 billion. Now it's worth.
so they
I think it's worth half.
it's for go through they might end up losing more money.
But I think also that whole idea of there's nothing new under the sun, which is said in the
But
Bible,
Musk-
bro.
Musk
There's no monopoly of ideas. Sometimes you think of it, you think you have a brilliant idea,
Unapata
and also
Slim
other
alikuwa
people
nayo.
other people have it. Maybe the expression is different. And all that.
Musk-
So
Musk-
we can give or take here and there.
Musk ameshindwa tu kurun hiyo stuff vile watu wanataka, na hiyo ndio weakness yake. I think just a lot of people are just not comfortable the way he's managing that way. Because if he did, he would be making lots of money. Amekuwa tu dictator, kaanza na watu wa blue ticks. Aliumiza hao watu.
Hizo ni njia zake za kujaribu kuunda do
Kuunda
cause
do,
even previously coexistence ya Twitter hajakuwa akimake profit so yeye amekuja na jaribu ku
Could try to find a way.
bring out some business models za kumundia do. You won't go into threads where
Nah.
you're not interested. Tushaka na Twitter
Because it's not. I'm not even active on Twitter. I go kusorora.
na scrolling tu mavitu.
Yeah, I'm
Haya
just
nini
scrolling.
finally kuna show ina come up on the 26th of this month. So by the time you're listening to this recording, itakuwa 2 days to itakuwa the following week rather.
The day before my birthday.
So on the 26th mmesikia mnaweza wish Roger happy birthday, mtumie gifts, mtumie do. In fact mtumie ni pesa. Anachanga kwenda kuona Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
In SA.
Tafungua
GoFundMe
GoFundMe.
ama PayPal.
Yeah, I mean, you guys muli changa for the
I think
the
Mosh.
needy and for hunger drive.
There's one
There was a mosh pia.
Kulikuwa na Mosh.
there's a platform.
Anaitwaje
Mustafa,
Mustafa.
Okay.
Let's do
This is a worthier cause.
I actually think there's
itabaki-
a platform that you can get money better if you
Tafuta
want.
problem. Between now and then come up with a problem and then tunaweza
My problem is I
promote.
don't
No.
have money to
Mzee,
go
tafuta
watch
something
Kenya.
I
serious.
actually think you don't need much. There's a platform that can help.
What's the platform?
OnlyFans.
Auze nini?
I don't think
Sex
niko
tips.
na-
You
niko na
have
nini.
so many
Niko na-
fans on Instagram.
So our converter apeleke huko.
Sina, I honestly don't know how men make money on OnlyFans because I feel it is something, or maybe I'm speaking as a straight man, but I think it's something heavily geared for straight men. Well, what is there to see?
I don't-
Sex
By the way, it
tips.
doesn't have to be explicit content from
No, I want quick
what I've
money. I
understood.
want
There was a
quick-
time I think
No.
the owner wanted
So,
to
Yeah,
do
they
something,
they
right?
wanted to remove the explicit content. Then
Originally,
everyone was like, it wasn't.
haikukuwa
Yeah,
na hiyo focus
but sex
on
sells. And I
sex
need quick money.
content. Ilikuwa open for all
Ya
creators.
wasanii.
And then sasa
Yeah.
kuna time kakuwa na an increase in the number of watu wenye wanapeana explicit sexual content, and that now became
The thing,
the center and a majority of creators wenye wako hapo, and they can't remove it.
They tried
only
to.
fans inajulikana
Yeah.
for
You can
sexual
do one
content.
that is not like I don't know.
Yeah.
Utafanya
Sex
nini?
sells.
If you
I need-
Sell
do that,
sneakers, whatever.
someone is
man.
going to give them that
I
platform,
need
and you're going to lose money.
Ooh.
You know, like if you just drop it, someone else is going to be like,
Naweza kuwa nikifanya mapoetry za Slim Shaka.
No one is going to watch poetry on OnlyFans.
I depend on
labda
how you package it.
labda nani
Maybe
Rix can
on OnlyFans.
he
Afanya
his
poetry.
Why?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Ooh, I could do the
Visual
the
poetry.
Mombi one. The first time I sucked dick.
So uibe hiyo piece uifanye.
Eish, Buddha, what are you
Or
saying?
uiflip.
The first time you
Alafu ukiwa naked. So the first time you ate pussy.
Yeah.
amesema you're flipping it.
Yeah, I'm flipping it. Come down. He was so excited.
Wani mpaka ni change post yake vile alikuwa amekaa. Alikuwa kusikia kile unasema.
Nataka pointers.
Mi
Tell me, man.
naweza share hiyo link kabisa, be like,
Why?
yo,
Does your lady need a bit of help? Like learning the
my lady
good
doesn't
tools.
have a D.
Yes.
Alikuwa
yeah, she's the one
anasema
who needs help
kama
learning
ungefanya
how
the
to
first time you
suck
sucked dick angepromote hiyo link.
Eh,
That's what anasema.
ningekutafutia mafans.
Mbona? Oh yeah, there are a lot of people who need that information.
But hiyo ingesell.
Mbaya.
Hiyo ingesell.
Acha ndonge na Mombi.
If that was your opening,
Guys, you know the state of the nation, right? Why are we talking about this? Like, you know,
The first
Exactly.
Kenya is
People
not doing
need-
so well, right?
people
money.
need respite.
Exactly.
People need respite.
Kenya is not
so
doing that well for
need
us to talk
money.
about
We need
this
money.
na
at
unaweza
this point, right?
kuna watu wenye wako mid class and above who can pay for that.
Exactly.
You know, the middle class is the reason hakuna revolution in this country because
Ooh, kwanza
They are
I can-
comfortable, man.
I can make like a male thong out of the Kenyan flag.
oof yes
Ndio.
This guy is spoiled.
I
So the people we are looking forward to a revolution. Hey,
Revolution itaanza.
huwezi
The revolution
fanya-
must be
huwezi fanya-
subscribed to.
huwezi fanya revolution kama uko njaa.
Wezi.
So utapata hizi means za kuunda do kwanza alafu ndo
Wezi.
ndo
Siku-
penetrate.
there was a time in protest, women they remove their clothes.
Hmm.
How is this any different?
mi nisikia comedian fulani akisema hiyo kiwa story ya njaa.
So kuna show ya Lexas Roga Nisiroge
Roga Nisiroge.
on the 26th at the Kenya National Theatre. Tuliongelea last time poetry and spoken word performances and where they are headed and watu kufanya concepts. So hiyo ni diary a mad therapist. Are you looking forward to will anyone of you attend the show?
No, I don't
No.
think I'll be around the country.
Mimi
Sawa Rosa.
mimi naona nita
Utakuwa
kama sitakuwa nimeitwa mahali
Sana.
utoki Kenya huko around. Inaweza kuwa umeitwa show upatiwe 5,000 10,000 hivi.
Yeah.
mi unajua
Naweza kuitwa
Yeah, we have to collect it so that we can pay tax.
me actually I haven't traveled sana. The first time I'm getting out of this country
for the slum.
naenda Brazil.
This guy is
Unajua?
going to Brazil.
Manzi ai my passport ijaiguzwa
Wait,
na local.
Unaenda lini?
Where in Brazil?
Oktoba tarehe 11 Rio. The
Rio de
beaches.
Janeiro.
Sasa wewe pia ukienda huko unajua uko na beach BE
Okay.
ACH
Specify,
please
specify.
that you can use to shoot OnlyFans content pia wewe.
Yeah.
twerk there.
Unaweza twerk, unaweza.
Too many
Nenda.
distractions. Because if I'm watching Slim, and I don't know why I would be watching Slim on OnlyFans, but if I'm watching,
Why not? Unampromote.
No, you're watching his channel,
Yeah.
not him.
yeah, and a few Brazilian ladies just crapping to cross behind him.
Sanaweza watumia pia kazi ni.
No longer.
Onyo tunanga kwa
Unasema
samba.
26th.
When is the carnival?
Sijui ni lini.
The Rio carnival. You can go when? Let me
Yes,
Google.
Slim, we need to find out.
I know when I'm
Yeah,
there.
but you are representing Kenya, so
There are
Record
lots of
OnlyFans
festivals
content.
huko.
Slim.
Let me
Yeah,
Google
yeah,
this stuff.
niombe nikuje na mtu.
Record OnlyFans content.
Mbona nakuja?
Record OnlyFans
you-
content.
Nibaki kule.
You don't bring them. You impregnate someone and then like years later akinunuliwa na Real Madrid. That's how you make your bag.
Hivyo ndo unaacha seeds zako kwa hii dunia.
Brother.
So kuna hiyo show.
26th July.
Yes sir.
Alafu-
So know about it, check it out mtandaoni.
Mhm.
Uone vile itakuwa.
Kuna
And,
pia show on I think 25th.
Tuesday.
Yes. Nani Stella Kivuti.
Really?
Yeah,
I
had
poets
no
should
idea.
know.
Poets you should know.
Yeah, so
Oh,
You know-
so that's at
you know-
Alliance.
yes.
Yeah, you know what's
Uh,
weird? It's held before Lent.
We are going back to that conversation.
It's very interesting.
Ngoja, there's another show.
which is when?
See Nini, April to wait.
April.
Because
Around
Lent
April.
kujanga before
Yeah, around February, April.
Jesus kudedi.
Mm.
Oh.
So the 2024 date will be February 9th to 14th.
Utakusha toka huko.
Mm.
Unaweza rudi
Ingia
pia.
ma-
Once you go unaweza rudi.
Ingia mafavela buda.
Nitarudi.
Ukae,
Favelas,
utae.
Niwachezee huko wa kardinali.
Exactly. Rende ni wrong.
Rende ni
Rende
wrong.
ni wrong.
Hawakutambui.
Ai.
Alafu February 9th
We,
ikifika unaambia
na
kuna mahali
mnaenda
unafaa kwenda.
14th pia kuna show.
Unaongelea show ngati ya?
Mm.
Hiyo risto za
Oh,
Za
nini,
histo.
Alliance
histo.
Squad.
But by the time ina happen hii podcast itakosha kwa released.
Mm.
Oh, itakuwa
Itakosha kwa released. But kuna hiyo pia coming
Sucks
through
to
this
be you.
Friday.
mtakuwa
Yes,
mmem-
sir.
Mm.
But
Niko
at
very-
least hiyo ya Stella na Lexas ina happen. But then
Mi niko very interested kucheki what Ngatia has also for that show.
niko curious for Lexas kuona the concept itakuwa gani
Alafu,
and the way that ata execute and then
juu
this
ya
time
stage
ameamua
ni
kuipeleka kwa auditorium.
kubwa. Hey. Wow.
Aye, all the best. I hope you enjoyed.
So hii podcast ilianza bila introduction.
Acha ishe hivyo. Let's be different.
Yeah, isha hivyo.
What about elevation?
No, we're not we're not
So kama umeisikia na umefika this far ukusikia hii introduction, tuliendelea ilikuwa tuikat to record but here we are,
hatupendangi structures.
our longest recording yet. Tumeongea tukaongea. If you're part of the community, if you're part of the spoken word scene, the creative community, our Sanaa Kusana community, then you know these voices that umesikia. If not, unfortunately, hawataki. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Tunabaki tu hivyo.
Ibaki hivyo, ibaki hivyo.
Kama mtakata.
Ibaki hivyo. Because the things that mlisema huko hivyo, Anyway, asante sana for listening to another episode of the Tunado podcast. Tumekuwa na a guest.
Taja like in between them.
Oh yes, tumekuwa na a guest mwenye ameungana nasi. Alihappen kukuwa in the neighborhood. Sijui kama amehama neighborhood yenye najua naishi.
Bado. Pesa.
And then if you're part of the Sanaa Kusana community, unajua the other voice that umesikiza for the first time. I come through for the first time.
Probably
2 episodes later.
Yeah. Nani venye niliona you know, there was no Abe, there was no Sam, there was no Norman. It's
Ukamwa
like people will get bored just
yeah,
listening to your
ukafeel
voice.
pity yeah, for
Oh,
sure for sure. Mi wamenizoea sana
yeah, with the
Sunday
thing,
yani wamenisikia wamenisikia sana.
So I thought, you know what, let me just
Akamwacha
let me drop by,
then
see what's what, see how it feels.
and then our engineer leo pia kamwaongee pale our engineer kadecide acha ni jump into the
Yeah.
conversations imekuwa beautiful
You
sana
ansanga hivyo, and then kiasi when we bring cameras, you'll be like part of it. Ki rod.
atakuwa part of the team
Yeah.
and the conversations. But shukran sana for listening. Jump in the comment section. Vibaya sana tumeongelea a lot
sana.
tumeongelea vitu vingi sana. Tulianza tumeongelea Maria makafiri wamejitokeza wakajulikana.
If by now wako nanijua, then they really don't pay attention.
Yeah. And here we are. Asante sana. So jump in the comments. Tafadhali jump in the comments. And then depending on platform unasikiza pia feel free kuturate tafadhali. Kuna msee alitupatia 5-star rating on Spotify.
I think that was me.
You think so?
Was it episode 2 or 1?
Just generally. So unaweza rate the podcast. So pia to rate on Spotify, tuachie a comment as well kwa the episode kama unaisikizia YouTube, kama uko Spotify, uko Apple, uko Google, place unaisikizia. Comment tafadhali, tutashukuru sana. Inasaidia kudanganya algorithms that we are doing things that are important and significant. So help us. And shukran to Omari alicomment on YouTube kwa the previous one. Akasema mi upenda kushow off when I know things. Not really.
Yes,
and then
Yes,
but meskia my team today
He
intelligence to
he gets
intelligence.
a sparkle in his eye.
I'm sure you'll want to listen to them again, and we can be doing this often pia with Slim. Nikitoka mtaa naambia Slim kuja to record manze na a pop up anaweza sensor but tulisha kumention earlier that's why I mentioned you tulisha kumention and then shukran pia to Kija alicomment on the first episode. By the time we were recording sikuwa nimecheck comment yake akasema finally the episode has happened. Asante sana. So
Just
do
years in the making.
the same.
Are we still doing pancake sessions?
We can still do it.
We're doing pancake.
Asante sana for listening. This has been amazing. Shukran sana.
Zitakuwa kwangu.
Yo.
Yo, baadaye. Yeah.
Makafiri.